Happy Saturday, everyone. How we doing? We doing good? It's nice to see a lot of people in the chat who have either already played this or are thinking of picking it up. What Remains of Edith Finch? Funnily enough, I actually noticed after talking about it on Wednesday's show that there's quite a few influencers who've partnered with Sony who every month are playing PlayStation Plus games and doing live streams. And this game is one of the PlayStation Plus games, so they've actually all been playing it, which is great to see because What Remains of Edith Finch was one of my favourite games of the PS4 generation. And it's going to be nice diving back into it with the PS5 upgrades. And an easy platinum. Yeah, there was no platinum for the first one. I was actually firing it up, and I was a bit worried that it wasn't letting me restart the game. So I was making sure that it wasn't going to be spoiling anything, because the ending is pretty moving, if I remember it correctly. But how you all doing? I actually have learned a lot about the editing capabilities for live streams on the YouTube platform, because for anyone who watched Chapter 11 of The Last of Us Part 1, where I was at the Fireflies lab, it was a long stream. I think it was like an hour and 20, an hour and 40. I just kept dying again and again. You're actually able to not just trim the start and the end, but you can cut out bits in the middle. And so I did it, and I've actually got it down now to 20 minutes. But I wanted to make sure it was edited, so when it does, basically when I die, I then cut out all the attempts in between, ensuring that when it cuts to an attempt that is going to stay in the episode, that it looks somewhat seamless. I'm not like mentioning stuff that hasn't been already watched, and I'm definitely going to be maybe using that with this stream, because for this stream, everyone, we're going to go through the whole game. That's why I'm actually doing it a bit earlier tonight. Also, I'm absolutely exhausted. It's been the most exhausting few weeks for me. I'm really feeling it today. And actually, I know we're just sort of warming up before getting into it. I've been paid, so naturally you start buying stuff with paid money. And I actually got myself one of these. Does anyone know what this is? Ergo foam. It's a footrest. So I put it down there, and I was like, oh, is it going to be worth getting? Oh my goodness, it is. And I've just ordered myself some slippers, because the amount of times I just walk around the house in socks, yeah, it's no good. But now I have this footrest. I think I need to make my chair a bit higher because of the sort of the angle of it. So let me do this now. If I can even remember how to put my chair up. It's not that. Nope. Is it this one? Just me adjusting my chair on the live stream. I should have probably done this beforehand. I can't actually work out how, the most simple thing. How do you make the chair? Oh, that makes it go down, but I can't make it go up. Oh, so that is the highest. Okay, interesting. Right. How are we all doing? We ready? I've also got some decaf tea. I've never bought decaf before, but I wanted something comforting. A nice inner hug to make me feel better. But I just also want to acknowledge that there was a game that came out on yesterday Dead Space, and I really wanted to play it, but 2 weeks in a row of survival horror in space, I think it's a bit much. I know those of you that are fans of it, like myself, wouldn't mind, but I really want this these live streams to be nice and varied. So I will return to the Callisto Protocol, and I'm actually currently in the process of working out what to do after these live streams where I only play a portion of the game, and I'm thinking of creating a membership tier where members get basically notified about additional game streams and we can hang out together. Was talking to a friend today. He said his wife is an angel. I told him how lucky he is. Mine is still alive. I've actually got the emotes commissioned, by the way, for this channel, and the drum is one of them. And thank you for liking my mug. This is like 20 years old. I've had it for more than 20 years, actually. But it's a big mug. It's lasted. When a mug serves you well, keep it, right? Okay. I'm just going to do a quick introduction, and then we're going to switch to this screen, which is my nice gaming screen. But I will just put up my stuff so we're good to go. Got my hair. Just had a shower. Right. And right, here we go. Hey everyone, hope all is well. My name is Myles Dyer, and welcome to this Let's Play of What Remains of Edith Finch. It is a first-person exploration video game that was developed by Giant Sparrow in 2017. This game was one of my favourites of the PS4 generation. And it's a short game. We're going to play it in one sitting, hopefully. Should take 2 to 3 hours. So make sure you got a drink and a nice snack. But it's a beautiful game that comes with so many surprises with its artistic vision and the narrative, which was unlike anything I had really experienced before. And so recently, a PlayStation 5 upgrade was made available, and I wanted to experience this again. It's been a few years, so I remember the overall arc, but the specifics of like how to get from A to B in that, I'm gonna have to work out. But I wanted to share this with you for the Let's Play, and I do hope that Giant Sparrow make a VR version of this. It's one of my top requests as we enter the PSVR 2 era. So with that said, let's go. Giant Sparrow is a great name. And if you know nothing about this game, fantastic. How are my sound levels? Are they good? This game's quite loud, so let me know if I need to sound a bit louder on the microphone. I knew I was going to have to change something.
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with the house.
I was so scared that it just loaded the end. I mean, this game is so beautiful.
I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
And if you
I
have
hadn't
played
been
this
back
game,
since my brother Lewis's funeral.
please, no spoilers. Look at the way, like, the letters. It's just... in virtual reality. Oh, I'd love this.
In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked. Maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
I really want a run button, though.
The truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to. The woods around the house have always been uncomfortably silent. As if they're allowed to say something, but never do.
I was actually surprised by the menu screen. But hopefully those of you that don't know what to expect will not have connected anything of it.
The house was exactly like
The music,
I remembered it.
so
the way
beautiful.
I'd been dreaming about it.
It's such an interesting house.
As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words. Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house. I hoped the key might unlock the front door. It didn't.
Oh wait, can you actually...
Looking in, I felt like the house itself had been waiting for me.
How are the sound levels now, everyone? Are they alright?
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11.
Good.
For the first time in years,
I love that pause.
I felt like I was home. The table was still a wreck from the night we left. It was like a bomb had gone off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture. Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth. mom always told me to stay out of the basement, so I wasn't too surprised when the key didn't fit. Great-Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara, along with the rest of the house.
Love the music.
My mom wasn't much of an optimist, but she never stopped believing that my brother Milton was alive. A lot of things got left behind in the whirlwind of that last night. After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes.
What I love about this is it feels... I know, you know, the beats of the story, but a lot of this feels new because it's been so long for me. So it has the names Sven and Eddie. Oh, it had one there. Calvin and Sam. It is creepy. Especially that. Here we go.
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. I think my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up. Lewis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him. Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets. Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of.
All of this in VR would have been so good. Just crawling in, looking about. It's just...
Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan. But I had no idea what was behind that door. Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat.
I'm getting chills already because I'm remembering. Yeah, same. Absolutely the same, Karina. It's coming back to me as well.
The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it. I kept eating and eating. I ate a lot of things that night.
No VR. It's one of my dream games to come on VR. And this was something I mentioned on PSVR without Parole this week.
Then I heard chirping outside my window.
Won't let me select the fish. Which is weird. That looks glitched.
I thought about eating Christopher, but I held back. It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her. And suddenly, I was a cat. I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared.
Already you're like, didn't think the game was going to go this way.
Mom and Dad didn't even look at me.
I've caught the bird. What? Is this glitched?
I jumped and I almost got her.
That shouldn't have happened. I caught the... Eat it, I know.
I could tell she was getting really tired.
Oh, there's the bird. How do I get up there? There we go. How do I get... This is not working. Yeah, yeah, I don't know why it's not letting me. How do you get up there? Man, this is frustrating. I don't remember it being this much of an issue. Why isn't it letting me go anywhere? So I was up here to there.
Now I was up in the big tree.
Oh, there you go.
I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird. I gobbled her up. And suddenly, I was an owl. First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass.
This game, already you're like, what is going on? So I've got to find rabbit. Look out for one. Where can we see one? Rabbits. There. Oh. Got one.
I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger.
An elephant.
A mama rabbit. She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark.
Don't want any more glitching out. Everyone's like, yeah, okay. I see where this game's going.
I rolled off a cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever. I wanted fat, juicy seals. I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
Yeah, push the like button, everyone. Thank you very much. There it is. Big juicy seal.
I grabbed on tight. But I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed.
I'm now controlling this snake.
Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere.
Oh,
I was
thalassophobia
big, but I
is
moved
the fear
real
of
quiet.
large bodies of water. I think that's an award for getting through without alerting anyone.
I wanted to stop, but also I didn't.
Belly with a rusty razor, shave his belly with a rusty razor, shave his belly with a rusty razor, right in the morning. What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor? Right in the morning. The captain's are,
After the last passenger, I was still hungry. And across the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it. I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe. closer. All of my stomach started growling. And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I will be delicious.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have. I got the sense Edie had spent a lot of time here, before my mom sealed the doors. I can't describe it, but I felt like some part of Molly was still here.
Well, look under
I grew
the bed.
up looking at Molly's room through the peephole. This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly. I spent a lot of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room. Edie gave a big interview about a mole man living under the Finch house. My mom was furious. One summer, they evacuated the island, but Edie refused to go. For a few weeks, she was a celebrity. I hadn't thought of myself as Edith Jr. for a long, long time. Louis died a week before we left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him. Her room was like a museum. For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune. Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johan. On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind. But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea. Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island. Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery. His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house. Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
It's just such a beautiful game. Like, just the lighting.
When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't. Even in her 90s, sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother. The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife, Kay, left on the house was the pink bathroom. It was a pretty big trace. There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard.
Have I played what, Stingray?
It's hidden in this book.
I love this. No, I've not played Unfinished Swan. No.
Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down. From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me.
Fort Calvin. And Fort Sam.
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin, and that he never talked about him.
So
I guess my grandpa didn't like
textbook.
history any more than my mom did.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it.
Everything, man. This in VR.
My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom. And he did. At Barbara's funeral,
Each
we swore
stick is for a
we'd
different
never
leg.
be afraid again.
So I was doing
And he
one
wasn't.
leg, one side. So I can alternate them like that. But you got to do them both
I
together.
think Calvin always wanted to fly.
That would be a cool mechanic.
Sam, Calvin, dinner's ready. Coming.
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it. I told him going around was impossible.
Yeah,
Maybe
this
if I
could
hadn't
create
said that.
sickness. My goodness.
Calvin, I'm not gonna tell you again.
Maybe if the wind hadn't picked up, then maybe he'd still be here.
My stomach's
But I
going thinking about this.
I think he'd already made up his mind.
Oh man. It's that feeling you get when you really go for it on
That's
swings.
what I want to remember about my brother. day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was
11.
younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
11 years old. Man. Chills.
After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room. Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
It's a good takeaway. This game has many messages, and I think that's a positive one. I just love how everything works together.
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
I remember going to go back down there.
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star. I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards. Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Yeah, this section is incredible. I still can't
Jack
believe
here with
how it...
another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue. She reached for the music box. she wound the key.
So
She
good.
listened for Rick, but the house was silent.
Now I'm controlling.
Rick?
She found Rick's crutch and imagined the worst. My precious.
The gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
The old fridge rattled and grew still.
Oh dear!
Oh dear.
Rick?
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm
Oh,
furious.
dear.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and you...
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
What am I pushing? Oh, the swinging chair. That's really cool.
Walter, are you there?
Walter had vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify
If
the
anyone's
police of any
tuning in now
suspicious activity.
and a bit baffled,
Barbara
it wouldn't have
turned,
mattered when you
saw
started
the
watching.
Hookman and was speechless. He was quite smashing. And the only was he couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara, there's gotta be another way out of here.
That night, she played her part beautifully.
Let's not imagine that.
She thought about abandoning Walter, but just couldn't do it. Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges groaned. He wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet.
Yeah, the comic book presentation is incredible.
The Hookman had vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was... She heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
Oh dear.
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter? Hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear. Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
That drum was not in the game. I added that. But yeah. Yeah, it does sound like the Tales from the
Barbara
Crypt.
wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
This game just gets better and better, and it's very moving at the end, towards the end. Actually, there's a few stories in this that are super powerful. Right, we're going to go back.
I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box.
Come on, you can do it. Yeah, I don't know how you would do that comic book scene.
Whenever people
in
ask
VR.
me about my family,
I mean, you have
the
to change
first thing
the
they
style
always
bit.
want to know about is Barbara. Edie's father, Odin, built the original house. Mom must have locked the third floor stairs on the night we left. It's
So I
funny.
assume
All those times I played with the music box and
The
never
music box,
found the basement
yeah.
key.
which way is it? There we go. Do subscribe if you aren't already. I host a weekly show every Wednesday and then host a Let's Play on Saturdays. And hit the like button, please. I love you for it.
Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot.
There's the saw. Yeah, I've had a pretty rubbish week.
I saw
so
Edie
it's
sneak
nice
down to the basement once,
playing a chilled game.
carrying packages. I thought maybe she was hiding presents. It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that. I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone.
Just everything. I'm just
She
like
said
in
after
VR.
Barbara died, he got as far away as he could. If there's a pattern in all these stories,
I saw a pea soup can, and on it said "Taste the penis." Like it's got so much penis in it because the pea soup's good. It was interesting messaging. Well, this game is free on
I think it's that
PlayStation
none of us
Plus.
has gotten very far.
Every time.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years.
I just get a memory of what we're about to experience.
On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week. But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane. Having a schedule, living for today. I always expected to be dead tomorrow. But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything. Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal. Almost friendly. And then one day, everything just stopped. Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid. It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years. I'm done waiting. I have to leave while I still can.
Take care, Clarice. Thanks for stopping by. Enjoy. That's exactly the hope with these live streams. Some people just want to watch, but some people will watch and go, actually, I want to experience this for myself. And
I know
that's
it's out
why
there somewhere.
each Saturday I'll play a new game from the beginning.
Whatever killed Barbara and Molly
I've forgotten what happens.
and Calvin. Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me. Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it. I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food. I don't mind if I only have a year left, or a month, or a single week. I'd be happy with one new day. I can already imagine the sun on my face.
Walter died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here. I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me. Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter. But if she never told me about an uncle under the house, I can only imagine what else she was hiding. I don't want to make the same mistakes she made, trying to bury something that's still alive. Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe 2, I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself and found out what happened to everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real. I don't know if I should even be writing this. Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me. But I thought you should know about your family. And the history you're a part of.
The pacing is amazing because although it's slow, the pacing of the narration,
I feel as lost as you probably do right now.
It works so well.
I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth. And when you look at the house, that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness, any of it seems possible. I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it. What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house? It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one. 3 of the gerbils are mine, and 2 had been my fault.
Derpy and Derpy Jr. Chirpy, Furpy, Burpy, Lurpy, Zerpy.
Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery.
Thank you, Zinc, for becoming a member. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you. I would play the DJ air horn, but would kind of spoil the mood. Calvin when he was on the swing. It's really interesting. Barbara, the star.
I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away.
It's just so beautiful. And the music.
She could see it poking out of the water at low tide.
Thank you for the super chat, Nintendo Charmers. Greatly appreciated. And I will flag up on screen now Zinc121 for becoming a member. Thank you, thank you.
Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night.
I remember seeing something down there.
Edie's side was always easier for me to understand.
The level design's beautiful. It
But
just
the older I
flows.
get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from.
But it feels...
Her dad had been pretty strict, but it wasn't enough to save her brothers. She was just trying to do better.
But it feels natural.
She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us.
Lewis Finch. That is the story. That is utterly, utterly heartbreaking. I mean, there's a lot of
There's so
heartbreaking
many
stories.
things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself.
No
But
spoilers.
looking back on it now, if she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
That is gutsy.
I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common. They were both pretty intense.
It's the shadow. See the shadow? So good.
Instead of hiding from death, Sam seemed to go out of his way to meet it.
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime. Perfect.
It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it? Please just take the damn picture.
Hey, language.
I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
Okay, got it.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. The camera's older than you are.
Such a cool mini game. Gotta find him though.
You're right, Dad. It's starting to clear up. Still freezing, though.
Where? Oh, there.
Aw.
Go back down to here. No. Just gonna keep taking pictures and stuff. I think this was the one when I first played that I got stuck on for a bit. Yeah. There's nothing in the water. Honestly. Does anyone remember this? This is what caught me out last time. Keep looking for Nessie. I think
Definitely should not have drunk all that coffee.
oh, there he is. Oh, there we go.
Hold still while I take a picture.
Hey!
That's a keeper.
There's a deer on the top right. I
I'm
like
just
that.
saying, I'm not always going to be here, Don.
Yeah,
You'll
that
need
would
to
be
remember
the
this stuff
more
if you wanna
expected
survive.
thing to take a photo
I'll
of.
be fine, Dad.
You know who else
No.
thought he was going to be fine?
Oh, this
Some guy
one.
who died.
Don, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years. Last time I was with my brother Calvin. Man, that was a great trip. Your grandpa Sven taught us how to fish, how to build a fire. Don, don't you think you could find something more interesting to photograph?
Like a mug?
We found an old logging trail. There were deer everywhere. I bet if I could remember where that trail was, we'd spot a buck for you in no time. Give me a minute to check the map.
You can go quite far across, can't you? There we go.
Dad!
Good eyes, Don.
That was a terrible photo. Should have
Before
waited
you
a
take the
second
shot, let me
longer.
get a picture of you.
Dad,
Let me get behind you.
have to do this?
Dawn, you don't have to do it. Great shot, Dawn! I'm proud of you, Dawn. Always remember that, okay?
Thanks for the super chat, Ryan. Oh, I've taken the photo.
Sorry, Dawn. Just gotta reset the timer.
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally
so-
normal, Dawn. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about...
Dad!
That's a great photo. That's a great photo. That's a keeper, right?
Of all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
That was a keeper of a photo. Well. Yeah, full of gut punches. I saw that photo and I thought, oh
After
dear,
Sam died?
oh dear.
My mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
That is a horrifying photo. Gregory's story. Keep pressing the wrong button.
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it. I think he saw things the rest of us don't.
Controlling the frog. Ribbit.
Watching over Gregory, it's time to... Hold on, sweetie. Hello? Sam, I told you I don't want to talk right now.
I wonder what he saw. What his world was like.
It's a fun little mini game. I love that the
reminded me
music.
so much of Calvin. Lost in his imagination.
No suds in the bath. Terrible, mum. What about that? Got an astronaut, a firefighter, and a police officer.
Whatever it was, he saw.
Can I get the whale in?
It sure made him
Yeah! Get all the letters in. Now it's a party, it is indeed. Well, maybe I can't get the R's. Come join us, Ducky. You have a bath duck. Nice. I know what I'm supposed to do here. Oh, there. Oh. Wow. Yeah, let's get back up there. Go on. Yeah. Bubble bath. See?
I'm worried about a baby being too happy.
You said no suds in the bath equals terrible mum. Well, we fixed this.
I feel him slipping away.
Sorry about that, Gregory.
I know you did everything you could. Maybe if I hadn't called that night.
Hold on, I don't want Gregory to hear this.
I wish he could have told us about the world he saw. There's so much I don't understand about Gregory. About everything. But I know what happened wasn't your fault.
All of this in VR, man.
I'm sure he's happy. And he'd want you to be happy too. Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam.
Oh, man, chills every time. Barely a year old.
I can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet...
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard.
Sometimes I feel I need to describe what I'm doing in game.
Come, of course, but Gus
Should be
stood
obvious
far apart,
for this one.
just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his
This is
heart.
fun though.
I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her, we don't need a stepmom, were the words that I
now pronounce you husband and wife. Make it try.
Yeah, I will. 'Cause it is so seamless, isn't it? So I guess I've got to flip the letters around. Although here... Are there anywhere? Can't see any other letters. Wow, you can go all the way around. Didn't know that. That's cool. I'm wondering if it's glitched again. Maybe. Hey Brian, good to see you here. Yeah, I don't know why it's not letting me get past this bit. That's the thing. So much of this. Part of me thinks this might be glitched. Look for letters. Oh, was that letters over there? No. Oh, yeah.
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined, and as a sign held up his middle finger.
Yeah, again, in VR this would be amazing.
The wind picked up, and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent. The rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made. The thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. But all my father said to this was, "Make the music louder." I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea, and foam. But I didn't, until we found you.
She never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
Duties. Greg, be a baby. Love it. Climbing wall. See
My mom
again.
moved up to the loft after her brothers died.
I keep saying it. VR. Oh, would be so good.
At the time, it was as far away as she could get. She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay. Religion was another thing my mom never talked about, but I think it helped her a lot after her dad died.
Yeah. Okay. I can hear that background noise now. Right. Let me... Yeah, there is a background noise, isn't there? What I'll do is... I'll look here. I hope it's saved, because I'll basically want to quit. Let's restart it. Yeah, I'm just going to restart the game. Thanks, Brian. I just thought it was my tinnitus. Restart. We're not restarting from the very beginning. Just from here. There you go. You can hear the stillness. Duties. Greg be a baby. Meh.
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died.
Apologies for that background ringing. There's a few glitches
At the time,
in this game.
it was
That
as
was
far
one of them.
away as she could get.
Yeah.
She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay.
I've forgotten what it was like without it now. Yeah, everyone... yeah. I don't know when it kicked in. It'd be interesting to find out. If someone wants to scroll back on the stream. I prefer the extra background noise. I found it soothing. Man, I feel like so much clarity now.
Religion was another thing my mom never talked about, but I think it helped her a lot after her dad died.
I'm glad I got Brian's text on my computer, because I only put iMessage on my Mac the other day because I'm having issues with my phone. It started when the kite scene. Okay, so it wasn't too long ago. Yeah. So we came from in here. Or maybe not. You always worry about backtracking, but the game, the level design is just amazing. Oh, we have been here. Take that back. Yeah, it was your fault, Brian. It was all you.
Sam spent his life shooting photos, but Mom said he got nervous being in front of the camera. I guess we're all afraid of something.
Right, let's go back in here then. Everybody's gone to the Rapture, a few people have mentioned. I started playing it and it wasn't clicking with me. So I need to give that another go. And yeah, there are a lot of hidden rooms in this house. Let's have a look around again. I want to go back up here. Oh, it was out here. That was it.
My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Lewis was born a year later.
You have to be right in the right mood for that one, yeah. And that's with a lot of games, isn't
When my
it?
dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back
Lewis.
and to see kids in the house again. The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that. And for a while, things were good. Almost normal. But it didn't last. The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle.
You see that down there, that little platform? The music. I think the music affects you more once you've played the game because obviously it's attached to memories. But yeah, my goodness, this is bringing back so much. Lewis is just a family member. We've not heard Lewis's story yet, or experienced Lewis's story. Is this Milton? Milton, here we go. The magic
Milton
paintbrush.
Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
In the haptics. You hear that? It's clicking. That's awesome. That is such a cool use of the haptics. Love it. Wow. And it works like the speed you do it with. It's amazing when you feel haptics used in ways not previously experienced.
I was 4 when Milton disappeared.
Now, I remember now when playing this game
Mom spent
and at
months
this
searching for
part
my brother. Then she sealed the doors.
backtracking a lot and getting lost.
Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
Oh yeah, that was it. I remember now. You still can't get what happens to him. Who, Milton? Or...
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Lewis blamed himself.
Yeah, so I'm just looking actually in the wiki. It said Milton disappeared for unknown reasons in 2003, a year after his father's death at the age of 11 years old. When his sister Edith was only 4 years old, he was never found. But supposedly, I don't know if this is a spoiler, but I haven't played the Unfinished Swan. But
After he graduated, he just
supposedly
spent
he
more
appears
and
in the
more time in
Unfinished
his
Swan.
room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
Right, can't go up there. So it must be this way. What a house. Do you know what I mean? It's not very good, the controls. Sometimes you're not sure which way to press the controller. But that could be just me being an idiot.
Lewis's room smelled very, very familiar. that part of him lived on.
Look at that. Man, this looks so much better on a PS5. Just the vibrancy. Now, if I remember correctly, this story is one of the most memorable and stories in a video game ever.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse.
Yeah,
Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life.
So I'm now, with one hand, moving the fish, and then
He
with
kept
the other
working
hand,
at the cannery.
well, actually just one hand, but I've got to put them
But
there.
he withdrew part of himself.
So I've got to grab one, and cut their heads off, and then throw them up there. Nice little mini game.
In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to wander.
Oh, okay. So the right hand is doing the fish, and I'm controlling him with
I asked
the
him to describe
left.
it.
I remember this.
He said he
Multitasking.
started small, imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats. And toads. And things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head.
This is taking some real multitasking.
But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself. But he found something more. I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused.
It's amazing what this does
Like
to
a
you
whole
playing
new
it.
Lewis.
It makes you sort of empathise with, like...
So I let him go on.
They're doing the two things at once. It's
I
mesmerising.
even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend. On the edge of a city he named Lewis Topia. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians. And songs for them to play. He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger. He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination, so he could do whatever he wished. He he held an election for mayor. And he won. They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him. He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville. St. Louis.
My brain, I can feel like
he started
both halves
drifting
working
away from our
differently.
reality. Minneapolis, until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery.
Minneapolis.
Even
so
as
good.
his mother pleaded with him,
Mark will like that one.
part of Lewis kept sailing on. In Louisburg, he heard rumors of a handsome queen. The queen was on her own quest for radiant rainbows. He followed the sound of her
No.
electric sitar. His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound. He knew the world was all in his imagination. But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king. For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace. My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him. He began to forget the world we know. I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker. He began to despise the man with a royal contempt. I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions. wise Calico had insisted on advising him. His queen waited, holding his crown. There was only one thing left to do. Bend down his head. I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
It's so powerful. Man.
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder. I wish we'd stayed. But I understand why we left. My mom ended up leaving everything behind. What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner. But it had to end one way or another. All that's left now is to tell you about that last night. That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
The power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance. Or that Edie had a key to it.
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house.
Thank you for the shout-outs.
Edith has a right to know these stories.
My
Yeah.
children are dead because of your stories.
Yeah, hit the like button if you are new and arriving. And if you've only
I think
just
it's
joined,
best if Edith and I leave tonight.
watch from the beginning. Because we're approaching the end. And it's been a
We'll have
remarkable
the
journey.
nursing home send a van for you in the morning. Okay?
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out. It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life.
Remarkable is an understatement, you
I
say.
never thought I'd go back to it.
The thing is,
When
I
the
remember
fog rolled in, I lost my way.
I remember how the ending made me feel, and I remember aspects of it, but I don't remember it clearly, so I'm looking forward to experiencing it again.
I got turned around.
What? Don't turn around.
I started seeing things. Things I'd forgotten had ever existed.
I use my new footrest.
But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them. Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it! Let go! I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw Great-Grandma Edie again. The next morning,
way
the band came to pick
the
her up.
text goes in the
She was
reflection
already gone.
is so beautifully done.
After that, we moved around a lot. We both tried to make the best of it.
I love controlling this.
A few years went by.
Controlling this as well.
My mom didn't like to talk about it. But she started getting sick a lot. She got better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is. This journal was supposed to be for you. But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you and tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way. This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
Beautiful, beautiful game. I love that twist. Super, super powerful. I was going to put what you said on screen, Mark, but I know some people may not have seen that. But yeah, Forrest Gump, man, does have that beautifully tragic essence to it. Well, I'd like to thank everyone for sharing this time with me. I was looking forward to experiencing this game again, and I have fond memories. You know, it's something to call it one of my favourite games of the PS4 era, but actually playing it again, this PS5 version, I've been quite taken back by how brilliant it is. So yeah, be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about all future videos and live streams and posts from me. I'll be streaming a new game every Saturday on this channel. When they're short and sweet like this, I'll play the entire thing. If it's a longer game, then we'll play just the opening. But it'll be wonderful to play lots of great games, classics and new, with you together. So take care of yourself. I'll let this play out. And adios. Till next time. Bye-bye. Hey everyone. I like having the music in the background. Yeah, Neil Druckmann, creative director of The Last of Us HBO series, or part 2. You can stream one more, Myles. What? One more game? Don't be alarmed. No, I'm really exhausted. So I need to get some rest. Yeah. No, for sure. It's a beautiful, beautiful game. But yeah, it's a perfect length game. So yeah, I just want to thank you all for tuning in. I'm going to get lots of rest now. I'm trying to take good care of myself. Got some good food today. Eating healthy. Gone for a walk. Trying to get lots of sleep. I did something for the first time in like over a decade. I got my email inbox to 0, which I never thought was possible. But that's made me feel a bit better. Although it's gone up to 1 now. Who's emailed me? Don't know. Anyway, I'm going to end the live stream. Thank you, everyone. Next Wednesday's show is going to be interesting because I am going to be at a work off-site. So I'll be leaving dinner to get back to my hotel room and do this live stream. So I have to think of a topic that is easy to do from my laptop. But then Friday, PSVR without parole, as always. And then next Saturday, I don't think it's going to be Dead Space, but I don't know what game we'll do. So if you have any suggestions, let me know in the comment section of this video once the live stream ends. So yeah, thank you for the tippers. Thank you for the new member. And thank you to everyone for just joining me on this. This is a really, really enjoyable experience. So have a wonderful rest of your Saturday. Have a great rest of your weekend. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.